In this video, I'm going to go over the Tasks tool within Bittrex 24. So you can see here I've already pulled it up from the left side menu of my Bittrex account. And automatically it opens to all of your tasks. So I've created them all because I'm the project manager. These were kind of automatically created by me, asking those I invited to fill out their profile by Bittrex. So I did not go in and actually make these tasks myself. Bittrex created them and kind of sent them through me. The ones that I've assigned so far within Sprint 1, which is what we're working on now, was a reminder for my team to submit their first peer evaluation. So I actually assigned it to my whole team. And so you can see here, assigned to each of them. If it's crossed out, that means it's completed. So Akshay and Sarah have already completed theirs, and we just have some left to go. Within these tasks that you already have, you'll find some options. You can just simply view the task. We'll just expand it and give you more details. Edit it. You can create a subtask. So maybe if there's a larger task, like you're asking someone to create a website, you could break it up into smaller tasks to assign them to lay it out easier. Add it to favorites. You can view all your favorites at once. Finish it. It's done. Copy it. Make the exact same thing. Or, of course, delete it. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and I know actually I filled out his profile. He just forgot to click that it was done. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that task. And boom, it's gone. This sprint is a kind of section that I've carved out. It's a project within itself, and then there are these tasks within it. So if I wanted to close it, I could, and then open it, and then open further to see everybody who's been assigned that task. This is the only kind of other thing that I wish, another tip that I wish maybe Bittrex would do differently is something beyond this little plus button to remind me that I assigned it to more than one person. Maybe to have just some little note like see more here, or maybe a down arrow, just an additional way, because it took me much longer than you'd expect to realize that this was the way. And I spent a ridiculous amount of time trying reassigning tasks and deleting them and going into my coworkers' profiles to try to figure out why the tasks weren't showing up here. Here's why, because I didn't press the plus button. So, just maybe a note for Bittrex. You can choose multiple things and select an action from there. Complete, set deadline, move deadline forward, backward, change responsible person. So you can look through those, but you get the idea. Or you can do it for everything. So if all your things had to be moved up by a month, then you click it. Say confirm, and you'll see that it chooses everything. Unclick it, they all go away. Great. Here are some settings just on what you can view for tasks. So right now I just have the name of the task, the deadline, who it was created by, and the responsible person. But you could add all these other ones if you wanted to. You could add all of them to get further details. But I don't feel the need for that, so I've left it as it is. And you can sort by a responsible person if you wanted to group and see who had how much left. There are multiple ways to view tasks, so I've just showed you this first list. This is the automatic kind of list that pops up. But there's also a planner. So in the planner, it will kind of automatically put them here. And then you can drag things over to other sections. So for example, to be done this week, this is now due on Thursday. So I could drag these over. Sarah finished that. And now when I come in here, it'll all be registered as what's being done this week and what isn't. I can also add a new task, but I don't want to do that. Nice and easy. Then there's the Gantt chart. I won't go through the very depths and details of this. If you're unfamiliar with Gantt charts, I'd say go ahead and maybe look that up, watch a video about Gantt charts itself to understand exactly what it all means, all these little symbols. All I'm going to say is that you'll see that it lists the tasks. You still have all those options that you had earlier in the other preview, but this shows them so you can kind of see how tasks go side by side. So, excuse me, especially as you get further into a project and very intricate projects and projects that require layering. So, for example, when I add Sprint 2 into the Gantt chart, which is something I need to do very soon, I'll say that Sprint 2 cannot start until Sprint 1 is complete. Because Sprint 2 builds on Sprint 1. Sprint 1 is the foundation. And so you'll see that then Sprint 2 will fall right under here underneath Sprint 1 and show that it starts when Sprint 1 finishes. It'll continue, and then I'll put Sprint 3 under that, which shows it doesn't start until the other one finishes. But of course, if we're doing Sprint 1 and 2 at the same time, which isn't how agile project management works, but then they would be right next to each other. So you can see these people are filling out the profiles on their own. You can easily change things by dragging them. Well, it's not working at the moment, but typically you can drag things and extend them. Well, there's one. So then I can change the deadline for any project. This little blue area represents how long it should take. This red mark is the deadline. This shows what date it's on. You can see there's kind of an arrow to show we're currently in that stage. And then this is kind of the time beyond that it's taken beyond the time it was expected from the start date. That's not bad if it's not a priority. If so, that could be a red flag. So those are the ways to view your tasks. The best way to view it actually it just is personal preference, maybe depends on your particular project. Next, I just want to talk about some of the specifics you can do for settings. Of course, you can do the typical search. You could also group by subtasks or by groups, which you can see that I've kind of done here. You can sort them by a variety of different various data information about each task. You can import tasks, which is really nice if you're moving over to Bittrex. You can export it, and you can synchronize with Microsoft Outlook. So those are especially useful if maybe you're moving over to Bittrex or working with someone who just isn't going to get into it, like maybe say a manager or someone a few levels up from you who isn't going to get on your Bittrex 24 account but still might need those reports, or if they ask for it, you can get it at a moment's notice. This little lightning bolt right here is a very quick way of assigning new tasks. So it doesn't ask for all that detail that normally assigning a new task would. So if I click on new task here, it comes out and it asks me for a lot more information, and I can even expand it into more, right? And so this is more like if you're going through and you just need to knock things off, rather than assigning the task this long way, you can just do it right here, and it's done. Easy as that. Another option for assigning tasks is to use a task template. So these are ones, like I told you, Bittrex, when I signed up, had kind of already made this fill out profile assignment that it automatically assigns to everybody who signs up for Bittrex. And so these are the templates they've already created where all the details are filled out. You can make your own templates. So if I go to all templates, I can add one right here. You can see these are the all ones responsible, new employees. That's why I was telling you earlier, anybody who's added. But I could add one, and that way if I know I'm going to be reassigning a task, multiple times, maybe at intervals I'm not sure of, then I can just do it in here, and then I don't have to refill out all the little details every single time. It's especially great if you're going to do some of these more detailed notes. It just saves you time. Makes it really easy, so that's a really great function. I'm going to go back to our list, and that pretty much covers this initial basic page. And then this bar up here is just some other options for different kinds of tasks. So you can look at ongoing tasks, none currently, that are in progress, which when someone is assigned a task, they'll be alerted of it and they can click start task on that alert, and then it will be ongoing. Right now I have people who have completed it and people who haven't clicked start yet, so I at least know they haven't started working on it. Otherwise it would be ongoing and in progress right down here. Assisting is a special role within a task, so you could assign someone to assist in that task. I haven't done that. Everybody has their individual jobs, or they're working together but still have very individual roles. So no assisting tasks, but then those would all be here. Set by me, obviously quite a few. These would be tasks I'm following. So earlier I pointed out that you could choose to follow a task. They would all be here, so ones that are very important to you, maybe of very high, it's a key task that really needs to get done for your project. That way you can come in and view them all right here. And then lastly, it has this projects tab, which gives you information about each thing you're working on. So these were all automatically created by Bitrix, which is why it doesn't have any information. However, you can see these projects I created. The participants, that's me, I created it. The performance, so far we're good, it's 100%. So all the tasks that are to be done are on track, which makes sense. We still have some time, it's not due until Thursday. Ongoing tasks, that's how many are being worked on currently and how many are completed too, in order to get this next sprint done. We haven't started sprint 2 yet, so that's why you see zeros down here. So really handy, a really good way to just capture everything. And once again, you could drag things out, sort of change this a little bit. It totals it for you, the total tasks, that is. So you can change it a little bit, depending on what you want to see. As you can see, I have all of the potential items that you can view all at once chosen, because I think they're all important, but you could choose what you want and don't want. If you'd like, you can apply it for all the users or go back to the default settings so that everybody is seeing the same thing that you are. Last little bit is just going through the side menu, which is really just additional ways to view tasks. They've just given you as many views as possible. So this is the Kanban. It's very similar to that view that we talked about earlier, this planner view. The only difference is that the Kanban has sort of, instead of having not planned and to be done this week, it has in the work, what is currently in the works, in progress, finished, and new. Right now I have it filtered. Always watch out for the filters. Make sure you don't accidentally have any up there, because this has tripped me up a couple of times. So if I exit out of that, you'll see all of the ones that I've assigned. And you can choose even within a certain sprint if you want. Another option you have is this supervising, which is just a really quick way of showing you exactly what I have going on, basically. And then the efficiency tab will give you information on how well you've been doing based off of the due dates you assign, the tasks. Basically, are you staying on schedule? So we've been doing great in our first 2 weeks, yay. So not a lot of information because, like I said, we just started. These are additional tasks, or I guess aspects of tasks. So these could have been, here we go, tasks per person and when they're due, to give you an idea. reports will give you, once again, some further information on, let's do tasks this month. So I can export some of the reports that Bitrix24 automatically generates for you. You can export onto your computer. So obviously these will get more complex as the project goes on. The templates I already talked to you about. And then the last thing is that just like you did with the left side menu, you can configure the menu to only have the items that you want to see. So you can delete, you can set something as your home page, add it to the left menu. I'm sorry, not delete, you can hide it. You can't actually delete it because the page will always be there. There is always going to be a way for you to find a page on Bitrix. You cannot permanently delete anything. It's just a matter of hiding it, so can you see it? But there will always be a way to get there. You finish customization, and it puts you right back where you were. Nice and easy. So that is an overview of all of the tasks and how they work within Bitrix24, and you'll be using those quite a lot, so I suggest that you play around with them, get a better idea, because before you know it, you'll be assigning them nice and easy instead of having to search around a little bit for what exactly to do.